Lewis Hamilton has confirmed his intention to sign a new multi-year contract with Mercedes. His current deal, which he signed in 2021, expires at the end of the 2023 season. The 38-year-old, who earlier in his career said that he didn't see himself competing at such an advanced age, now claims Mercedes have a championship that they need to get back after losing 2 consecutive drivers' championships to Red Bull's Max Verstappen. Hamilton, who's won 7 world titles and currently holds a joint record 95 race wins with Michael Schumacher, is confident that his longevity and continued success can be attributed to Mercedes' commitment to excellence. I really don't know what the next 5 years hold. I think we're still trying to work on that. There are a lot of great things being put in place, like the production company I just launched this week. But I feel great in my mind and my body. I want to continue. I think that there's more stuff for us to achieve together, so I want to be here longer, Hamilton said. Hamilton considered leaving the sport after being agonizingly and controversially denied an 8th world title in 2021, and has endured the most challenging campaign of his career in 2022, as Mercedes struggled on track. Despite this, Hamilton's love for the sport still remains, and he is determined to continue racing. Lewis Hamilton has been occupying millions of column inches on sports pages all over the world for more than a decade when it comes to F1 driver contact drama. During this time, Hamilton has consistently been one of the most successful F1 drivers in the world, winning 7 championships and becoming one of the most decorated drivers in Formula 1 history. Hamilton typically wants to wait to put pen to paper until the absolute very last moment, when his leverage is at its greatest. Now, this strategy has served Hamilton well, as he's managed to consistently secure contracts with some of the most lucrative terms in Formula 1. I believe that was meant to say lucrative teams in Formula 1. But anyways, even though he was under contract until the end of 2023, the British driver startled many when he declared in the final stages of the 2022 season that he would like to sign a multi-year deal with Mercedes before starting the new season. Hamilton knew that his reputation and his skill on the track meant that he had considerable bargaining power, and he used it to great effect. This generated a great deal of discussion as to why Hamilton changed his method of operation. Hamilton's decision to renegotiate his contract was likely driven by several factors. Pun intended. One of them, according to speculation, was that after his teammate George Russell defeated him in 2022, Hamilton felt the need to make a statement that he was still one of the best drivers in Formula 1. In a very similar vein of thought, Lewis has few options to move on to a top team and claim a record-breaking 8th driver's title given the contracts Ferrari and Red Bull have with their top drivers. As a result, Hamilton's decision to renegotiate his contract with Mercedes was likely driven by his desire to not only remain at the top of Formula 1, but also to become an icon within the sport. Therefore, his only option is to remain at Mercedes for the foreseeable future, in his attempt to break Michael Schumacher's record. Of course, with a multi-year contract signed for an eye-watering amount of money, the option is then solely with Hamilton as to whether he retires early or continues to be in the sport. In this situation, Hamilton faces a clear choice: stay with Mercedes and continue his illustrious career, or retire early, confident that he's achieved great success in Formula 1. If Mercedes were to prove that they will not be producing a winning car until 2026, when the new regulations will take effect, it could be that Lewis believes that this is too long of a wait for a chance to fight for another title. In either case, Hamilton's decision is going to depend a lot on his own personal goals and what he thinks is the best choice for his career. Towards the end of the 2022 season, Total Wolff began to downplay the notion that Hamilton's contract would be sorted before the 2023 season begins in Bahrain. This could indicate that Mercedes is looking to exercise caution before tying themselves to Hamilton for the long term, which might make it less likely that Hamilton stays in the sport until 2026. We have a full year to go, Wolff said in a surprise shift from the notion that it was all but a done deal. With this shift in plans, Wolff has renewed hope that the full year of negotiations will result in a resolution that's, satisfactory to all involved parties. In the last 10 years, our relationship has grown so much that it's just a matter of him physically being back in Europe, sticking our heads together, wrestling a little, and leaving the room with white smoke after a few hours, Wolff explained. In this process of negotiation, Wolff's hope is that the two parties can work together to come up with a plan that would be beneficial for both. It now appears that Hamilton will start the new season without an extension to his current contract. And one thing's for sure, Mercedes is doing everything that they can to give Hamilton a long-term contract. Which is because if they don't manage to give him a winning car this year, they'll have that experience of a 7-time world champion on their team. Sportoon recently reported that Lewis's annual remuneration would be increased from $42 million to 62 million euros. That's the... Well, my dollar signs are different there. I, the narrator, don't know. But anyways, Mercedes now denies this, calling the reports completely unfounded. With Mercedes and Hamilton's contract negotiations at a standstill, Wolff has expressed the desire for both parties to just come to an agreement that will be mutually beneficial. Sportoon also reported that the world champion would no longer have a $27 million world championship winning bonus that was in his previous deals, included in the new deal, which means that any potential deal between Hamilton and Mercedes would have to be agreed upon without the presence of a championship bonus, which could prove to be a difficult task for both parties. With the championship bonus off the table, it would seem as though Hamilton and Mercedes will have to negotiate in earnest if they're going to agree on a deal before the start of the season. According to the report, or report if you talk normal, the contract will include a role as a Mercedes ambassador for the next 10 years after he retires from racing. With this new deal, Hamilton will continue topping the list of F1 driver salaries. But one lingering question in my mind is why Mercedes believes Hamilton is worth that much. Hamilton may be the best driver in F1 history, but he's probably worth far more to Mercedes off the track. He has a larger social media following than any other driver on the grid. He's estimated to have around 30 million followers, while the next closest competitor, Max, has under 10. Indicating a massive reach that the company is willing to pay for. But it's not just his social media following that appeals to Mercedes. It's his entire brand. Hamilton's name and face are well known around the world, and if they can exclusively use his image to help sell their cars for the foreseeable future, they will all be the better for it. Speculation is that Hamilton is waiting to see if the W14 is competitive or not before agreeing to a new contract, though, as previously noted, Lewis has few other options with another competitive team. It's clear that Hamilton is going to face a difficult challenge in agreeing to a deal before the start of the season. It could then be that Mercedes is waiting to see how Lewis performs in 2023 compared to Russell. At a fraction of the cost, if Russell is the team's best hope for race wins and championships, the wheels may quickly, turn on Hamilton. Hamilton's negotiating position could be weakened further if his performances this season are not up to snuff. Insider has reported that the driver's most important request to Mercedes is that they continue supporting his foundation, Mission 44, in which he invests 7 million euros each year. This amount's going to be increased to 13 million euros as a large portion of his next contract will go directly to Mission 44. This is an incredibly generous commitment by Hamilton, and not just to his foundation, but to the F1 drivers who hope to follow in his footsteps. This foundation aims to help people from underrepresented groups gain opportunities in education and employment. Increasing his donation to the foundation is going to play a key role in ensuring his legacy lasts. According to reports, Hamilton's foundation will also receive a new donation from the Daimler Group, which owns the Mercedes-Benz. The donation is seen as a long-term investment in his legacy, one that is expected to benefit future generations of people. Hamilton generously donates his large fortune to those in need. According to the 2022 Sunday Times Rich List, Hamilton ranked 5th among British philanthropists in terms of generosity. Hamilton's generosity has not gone unnoticed, as he donated 20 million euros in the past 12 months, calculated to be 6.7% of his net worth. What do you think about Hamilton's new contract? Let us know in the comments section down below. Well guys, that does mark the end of our video for today. Make sure to do a quick old pit stop at the subscribe button and you'll get more amazing F1 content. Pit stops and stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching.